What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to ask you something that's a little bit controversial, but it needs to be asked and it needs to be said. In my personal opinion, the next season of Teen Mom OG needs Farrah Abraham, and I feel like we need her more than ever. You know, she is like one of the most polarizing figures to ever come from Teen Mom OG. No one on the show has ever been as committed to serving like the wacky, the crazy, the wild, the way that she and her family have been committed to doing it. Like, not only did we have Farrah as like the complete, like, what the heck from her family, we also had her mom, her dad, the man that her mom married, Dr. David. Like, there was so much content there. And the fact that they let go of her based on her work in the adult industry versus the way that she treated people was just, you know, such a disappointment to me. This past season of the show, we did have Ryan Edwards and his family literally carrying Macy's storyline on their backs like they have been, you know, pretty much since the entirety of her stint on the show. But next season, she's decided that she doesn't want to talk about Ryan at all, and she doesn't want him or his family to be featured. So what exactly are we going to get from Macy? We're not going to hear about how she and her husband allegedly get drunk and fight all the time. So what are we going to focus on there? Her running around a park? Her PCOS advocacy work. You know, it's great that she's doing the PCOS advocacy work, but it just does not really make for great television, in my humble opinion. So I'm worried about that. Then we've got Mackenzie McKee with that fake ass marriage storyline between her and Josh that I'm already tired of. You guys know that. Like, I've been skipping through her scenes, you know, the entirety of this season. So that's two people down. We've got Cheyenne. She's going to be giving birth to her son Ace, and she's going to be planning a wedding to Zach. That's going to be interesting, but it's not like compelling television. I could live without it. You know, we do have Amber Portwood, but even that is getting a little bit stale. I feel like more than watching Amber these days, I'm more interested in watching Leah drag her. So it actually seems as though the next season of the show is going to single-handedly be carried by Leah Shirley if she continues to get more screen time. But the problem with that as well is that I think she, like Bentley, is a little bit too aware of the show. So it might be time for her to get a step back, or maybe like the entirety of the Shirley family to kind of get a little bit of a step back in order to protect her privacy. So really, what are we going to get? Because none of the other parents can step up and be reality stars the way that Farrah and her entire family can. So I really think that we are kind of on our last legs here. And so I'm genuinely curious what you guys think about the future of the show. Like, what is it going to look like in a post Edwards family world without a replacement polarizing figure? I shudder to think about what the next season is going to look like, because we did have the drama from the Edwards this season. Like, Ryan and Mackenzie were calling Macy an evil bitch. Larry was talking about, like, you know, snitching to the press about the drama with Macy and Bentley and stuff like that. He was accusing her of manipulating Bentley. Like, they were working hard this season. And then we also had Leah dragging Amber as well. So even with all of that, it still wasn't really much of a season worth watching. So when you take away half of the stars, the people who literally made the entire reunion this year, what are you going to get next year if you don't bring another like dramatic polarizing figure? To me, unfortunately, the answer is a total snooze fest. So I really want to know what you guys think about the show going forward, and, you know, the separation from Farrah. Should they just put up with how dramatic and kooky Farrah is in order to give us great television and, like, you know, get rid of their pride and ask for her back? Or should they find another polarizing figure who could be quite interesting for the show? I know we all say they're too old, but listen, they can't reach back and grab someone fresh out of 16 and pregnant right now, because it would be way too odd to have like a 16, 17, 18-year-old alongside a cast of 27, 28, 29, 30-year-olds at this point. They would have to start fresh, or just find someone else who can really help deliver the ratings that they need. How much further can the ratings continue to drop? They've been dropping ever since Farrah left the show with no signs of slowing down. So let's take a little bit of a look over here from an article written in February of this year from The Sun. They said Teen Mom OG ratings dropped to an all-time low as fans demand MTV cancel the boring show. I have a question. Why do people demand for networks to cancel shows they find boring that they don't watch? Like, is it not possible to just not watch the show that you're not interested in? I never really understood these sorts of calls from people, but I digress. Anyway, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so it's easier for you guys to read it. So The Sun says that, listen, it's in its 11th year at 9th season. And so the 8th season had 692,000 views on average. And now this season, after 4 episodes, it's in the 500,000 viewer territory. Remember, they used to have upwards of 1 million viewers. In May of 2015, they had 1.5 million views. And now here we are in this extreme slump. They've tried, you guys. They brought in Cheyenne Floyd. They brought in Mackenzie McKee. But listen, these girls are just not all that compelling, you know? Like, if you look at them from a one-to-one perspective, Macy, she is so boring. Honestly, she's monotone. She's just got nothing really going on in her life. She had an opportunity to make her own storyline out of the shooting that she witnessed, but she didn't. Instead, she continued to talk about like Bentley stuff. Cheyenne, she's got money. She's got all this great stuff, but I feel like she's more suited for like, I don't know, like a Rich Kids of Beverly Hills kind of thing, like a light version, because she doesn't have that kind of money, but she's got more, you know, she's got moolah. Like, she's more like The Hills kind of thing to me. You know what I mean? Like lifestyle, aspirational versus teen mom. Then you've got Amber, who isn't that interesting alone. You know, these days, her daughter dragging her is a lot more interesting than herself. You've got Caitlyn. To me, she's really improved this season. Like the past seasons, I really dreaded her scenes, but she's really improved. But again, she's not that compelling or interesting. Mackenzie, I can't stand this fake storyline of her first season. She was amazing, compelling television, but then, you know, she started leaning on something that was just not at all believable. And it's just really made the show suffer. And so, you know, Amber's dynamic with her boyfriend that she had brought in from Belgium, Dimitri, that was quite interesting, you guys. But of course, with COVID, he had to go back to Belgium and he hasn't been able to go back to America. So we didn't really get enough of that. So she needs a new supporting boyfriend role in order to pick back up. Tyler, he used to carry Caitlyn's scenes, but he's been slacking lately. And then, you know, again, Cheyenne, her love triangle with Corey, that was actually quite interesting in the early days, but now she's kind of settled into this situation with Zach. Actually, they're engaged now. So that's going to be, you know, more calmly interesting. Taylor, to me, has never been all that interesting. And Josh, I don't even know what he's saying half the time. So another not very interesting person to me. So as the ratings continue to drop, we're in the 500,000 range. I think next season we're headed into the 400,000. I predict that like our lowest ratings next season will be in the 300,000 range, actually. I think they need to kind of shake things up a little bit, shake that table, flip that table, Teresa Giudice style, and bring us some new compelling people, or just bring back Farrah, please. You guys, I'm going through Farrah withdrawal. You know, I know she's an awful, awful, awful person, but I also think that she is a person who never really had a chance to be a great person, just because of like, you know, that crazy environment that she was raised in, with her parents and everything like that. So it's not entirely her fault, in my opinion. And I was listening to her podcast and recapping it for you guys, but she stopped doing that. Like, I miss her and I want to see her back on my television. When she was on Couples Therapy, they were getting like huge ratings. Like, and then when she was on the Family Therapy, like she brings good ratings wherever she goes. Celebrity Big Brother UK. Like, why are they not using this ratings draw? You know, like I think they should just suck it up, bring her back. I know a lot of you guys are not going to agree with me on that, but it's like, well, you're also complaining about Teen Mom OG being boring. So you can't have, you know, these amazing, nice people and great television. Unfortunately, nice people are kind of boring, you know, for TV. We need the Farrah Abrahams of the world. And I really, really hope that MTV surprises us by bringing her back, but I know they won't. So just give us something, give us a shakeup. I really hope that something changes next season for the show, because if it doesn't, I don't know that they're gonna have another season after that. Anyway, you guys, what do you think? What is Teen Mom OG missing? Are we missing Farrah Abraham? Should we bring her back with all the wacky, wild stuff she's got going on in her life? Make sure to let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.